only on Adventist World Radio, powered by SID Media.
Various authors have said the following about reading, which I thought was really fascinating. I wanted to literally write down every single quote that I found on the app, but I could not. But listen to what they say. Frederick Douglass said, once you learn to read, you will forever be free. Paul Sweeney says, you know you've read a good book when you turn the last page and feel a little as if you have lost a friend. Frank Zappa said, there is no friend as loyal as a book. As a matter of fact, so many books, so little time. Oh, yeah. Garrison Kaylor said, but unfortunately, a book is a gift you can open again and again. Think before you speak. Read before you think. Why? Because today you're a reader. Tomorrow you are a leader, said Margaret Fuller. Also, if you write a book, wouldn't you want someone to read it? I would want someone to read my book. I mean, the reality for each of us is that in the end, we'll all become stories. And so Lynn Campbell, actually, correct surname. Lynn, I need to get this one right because I've been butchering your name for too long. Lynn Kamstein. Yes, she comes to us this morning from Help to Read, an organization that she's also going to share a little bit more about. And I don't want you to miss out at all. I want us to all get into the habit of reading. We are going to read together, by the way, this morning after we go through some of these pointers that Lynn and I would love to engage each other on. Good morning, Lynn. Thank you for accepting our invitation. I'm so happy to have you here.
Good morning, Millicent. Lovely. I'm excited to be with you and to share these words with you.
Absolutely. Help to Read. Can you tell us a little bit more about this beautiful organization that I'm sure is impacting so many lives?
Well, Help to Read was established over 20 years ago, with a focus on helping children to read in English. Because once that's mastered, you can master your rest of your education and you can master the world. How we do it, we have a dual focus. We train young people from between the ages of 18 to 28, coming from the communities around a selected school. We train them up and they actually work with the foundation phase children in the schools where Help to Read programs run. So dual focus, improving literacy, English literacy, and providing employment for young people. Getting them excited about education, about working with children, about facilitating learning. So
this is something close to my heart. I love education a lot. Did you used to be a teacher? How did you get into knowing how to teach people how to read?
Oh, I've been a lifelong reader. I could read before I went to school because I had parents who read to me. And in the dark ages, you can see I'm really old. So I trained as a teacher, but the government system didn't like me, and I didn't like the government system because my dream is to find a way for every single child to be able to learn, to be able to read, but able to use that reading for fun, but also be able to prepare them for the rest of their lives, and prepare them for schooling. And so I love finding ways and means of getting through the system so that every single child has a chance to read.
So my interest is, my curiosity is piqued when you said the government system. What was the government system that you were conflicting with?
Well, the government system said that 40 children had to be sitting in at their little tables with their little feet on the floor, and they should be watching the chalkboard. They should be writing things down. They should be saying things by rote. and that just wasn't working, because some children learn through their ears, they're audio learners. Some children learn through the eyes, but some children need to actually uh, touch the words themselves to be able to acquire those skills. And so that's why the government system didn't like the way I did it, because I had children, foundation phase children, outside on the school playground. Some of the boys were busy laying out a running track with a measuring wheel. I had children going around the school and reading all the notices on the school, and that wasn't part of being at school. You had to sit at your desk, and that's just not my philosophy. We've got
I
to
see.
try every single way of finding a
Yeah.
way to open that pathway to reading.
I totally hear you. So you were seen as one of the issues. You were a problem teacher, basically, in their eyes.
Absolutely.
No,
Yes.
definitely. But when you were studying, and I know I'm digressing, I'm just so fascinated by your story. When you were training for teaching, at that time, did the system train you to also keep the children in the class, or did that change along the way as policies were changing and various different types of curriculums were implemented along the way?
Yes, no, absolutely. So
Mm.
at I was at a teachers college and then did
Yeah,
my final year at Stellenbosch University, and then went on to study part-time as well during my lifetime. And so I want to digress in say encourage people.
yeah,
Part-time study is not, it's very difficult, but it's
yeah.
really worthwhile.
Okay.
So, an example of our country's policy changing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right when the country was opened, we were free.
Mm-hmm.
We were introduced to a new curriculum called Curriculum 2005.
Yeah.
But that curriculum was so dense, was so difficult to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I was part of the Eastern Cape team at that stage, and we were traveling to every single small area, deep rural areas, trying to bring a very sophisticated solution to the country. But instead of simplifying everything, it was complicated.
Yeah.
Um, Curriculum 2005, outcomes-based education, has gradually been removed from the curriculum. We now follow our CAPS curriculum, and this is what Help to Read follows too. But once again, it's a very formalized system.
Too packed
At
as
this
well.
stage, yes, at this stage, a child must be able to read so many words. At
Yeah.
this stage, they must be doing this, they must be doing that.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, let's have fun with reading, let's listen, let's train our ears to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Language flows over children. It doesn't matter what language they're speaking. From tiny children, we're immersed in this language.
Yeah.
And it's very, very fascinating, because as parents, what happens when our children say their first word?
You get excited.
There's
Very
enormous
excited.
excitement.
Yeah.
There's Everyone runs around and says, "Oh, did you hear what she said?"
It's a
The news,
celebration.
yes, the
Yeah.
news is spread to my community. My child has called me mama for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
or has used another word. And then we encourage our children, continually speaking to them.
Yes.
But what happens when our children start finding their little feet? We forget about the language. We say, off you go and play, go and do your thing. Um, but we forget about that language development that's happening all the time.
Wow.
From the time those children are born, they are like little sponges. They're just listening to that language. They're practicing that language. They're having fun with that language. And that's what we have to encourage.
Yeah. I would love to be in your class. You are
But
phenomenal. I'm enjoying every
I,
moment of this. Yeah.
I get very few opportunities at the moment at Help to Read to actually be in the classroom. But another passion of mine is actually seeing the young people that Help to Read employs, seeing them develop this love of reading, this love of language, and seeing them how excited they get when
Yeah.
they've been working with a child, to see that child getting excited about words, being able to read for themselves.
Oh,
It doesn't
yes.
matter.
Yeah.
It's one word at a time. So when I
Okay.
get the opportunity to train young people, I love it. I thoroughly love it.
Yeah.
And I have one grandson in the country,
Mm.
and because he lives far away, I record books on video for him, and
Yeah.
I read books to him on video,
Wow.
and they're sent via WhatsApp. So it's just about it's language all around. Words,
And
stories, having fun with those words all around.
yeah, and we're definitely going to enjoy reading together this morning as well, which is another exciting part of this show that we are going to have. Hopefully, I don't know if you'll be able to share a tip or two with the parents or guardians on how they can help children to read. And nowadays, I'm sure you know the problem is not, I mean, when a child is still a toddler, that's not even a problem. But we've got high scholars who don't know how to read. You know, a child is 21 years old in grade 10
Mm, mm,
and still does
mm,
not know
mm,
alphabets. And I don't know
mm,
if
mm,
maybe
mm,
parents also don't know
mm,
how to help them. And they think just
mm,
go to school, but they don't realize that at the school in high school, that's not what they do. They're not going to teach a child how to read. They're not going to teach a child how
mm,
to write. The teachers, they are not even trained for that. So
mm,
the help is gonna definitely have to come from the home. So hopefully we
mm,
can guide in that as well. Plus two
mm,
seven seven 3520. We are celebrating the International Reading Day today. Read to Me Day rather. And Miss Lynn Stain comes to us from Help to Read. You can hear her passion just oozes in her voice and her gestures. And we're trying to understand a little bit more about reading and how to impact each other and help each other, especially the kids who desperately need to know how to read because reading liberates. So, children in 2026, I don't know if you have seen the polls reports. How do you feel about where South Africa kind of sits with regards to that?
Well, it's actually really tragic
Yeah.
because it's not about just reading in English. It's
Mm.
reading in every single one of the languages that we
Yes.
use in South Africa.
Mhm.
South Africa is a very print-rich language in English. We don't see much of the other languages in print, but it's very sad that it's across the board. So,
Mhm.
what are we going to do to change that?
Yeah.
And you really touched on such an important part there, Millicent.
Mm.
It's not about leaving it up to schools. We're sitting in many instances, classrooms of 50 children, 40 to 50 children in a classroom. They're densely packed. They can't move in that classroom. It's not a print rich classroom.
Oh yeah.
Teachers are really battling. They are struggling because they don't have the resources. But let's look at it. Let's take it back to the home. Um, you, as a parent, are an example.
Yeah.
Um, as you come home in the evening, you know, oh, I'm tired from work. I really don't feel like doing anything. You sit down and you're sitting on your phone and you're
Yes.
scrolling through your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that says children shouldn't have phone time. But look what you're
Oh.
doing.
Mm.
You're their example. So just an exciting thing to do. So I get home, and as I've come along home, I've picked up a brochure from, let's say, Checkers.
Okay.
So let's have a look. Let's sit down together, and we're all going to we're going to read this brochure together. So even though I can't read in
Mm-hmm.
English because I'm 4, I've got this picture in front of me, and my mum and I, or my grandmother and I, are
Mm.
sitting looking at this brochure. I can read it. There's a picture. What is this picture showing me?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, it is cooking oil. Let's
Mm.
see if we can find that word on that brochure that talks about that oil. Let's look at, and we don't, newspapers aren't around
Mm.
anymore, but
Nope.
there are so many flyers and brochures. Every single piece of print material
Mm-hmm.
can be read. I call it read in that way. We first start looking at the pictures, then we associate the pictures with the words, but we have a discussion about it. We talk about it. We use that opportunity not to sit on a phone, but to look at our brochure. So we could be planning a meal. We could
Mm-hmm.
be planning going shopping. Every single child has an opportunity to read whenever we are, if we're walking anywhere down our street in our community, there are signs all over. We can read them together.
Mm-hmm.
um, when we're talking to each other, we can touch objects and we can say, I wonder what this word looks like, what the word floor looks like, and let's just write it with our fingers somewhere. But if we're going in a taxi, we're driving in a car, there's street signs all over. We're reading, we're reading, we're reading. Um, and we're yes, it's not reading out of a book, but it's reading. It's getting the eyes and the ears focused on print-rich media. And it's
Making
never,
meanings of the pictures.
yes, yes. And it's never, never, never too early to
Yeah.
start reading to your child. Um,
Nah.
you can
Mm.
Sorry, Millicent, I've been rambling on.
You're not
Over to you.
rambling. You're doing so great. I love the fact that you said it's never too early. I've heard people saying you can read from as soon as conception to the child because the children learn languages very fast, and it improves
Mm,
their thinking abilities as well.
mm. Yeah, it's about that. It's about that, those words just flowing over you.
Yeah.
The rhythm of language. There's a rhythm to language. There's rhyme to language. So you
Mm.
can, yes, you can start talking to your baby when you know there's a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Start talking to your baby. Start reading to your baby once they're born. It's the most amazing. If you're breastfeeding,
Mm-hmm.
to have your baby, and if you have access to a book, to have your book open, and you can be breastfeeding and reading to your baby,
Wow.
just to have those
Yeah.
words flow over
Mm.
them. Those children don't really understand the meaning yet, but it's the
Yeah.
flow of the language. It's
Mm.
getting children hearing that rhythm, that rhyme, but also what you're doing
I
is
like
you're
that.
showing your care, your concern, you're you're showing your love through those words as well.
Wow. Wow.
So just
Wow.
never, yeah, never stop reading. Just never
Mm-hmm.
stop.
And how? Okay, that's so beautiful. And I've also seen some parents who maybe they'll have their child in their bags while doing their work in the home and talking to the child. So you're not
Yes,
ignoring the child. If you open the
indeed.
water, you tell the child, "This is a tap. I'm opening the water. Look at the water. I'm now washing the dishes. Here's my fork. Here's my spoon." And I believe those children have potential to become incredibly smart.
Absolutely, Millicent. Never, never, never stop talking. Never stop talking to your child. And I think here just a little, just a few words of wisdom to parents.
Yes.
Don't talk baby talk to your children. Use
Mm.
the correct words. Um,
Example.
don't. Yes. So, example. You'll say, "Oh, my baba," instead of saying, "Oh, Millicent, you're looking so nice today. You're looking so beautiful today." Uh, and I'm going to use an Afrikaans word.
Mm.
Hier is kossies. Kom ons eet julle kossies. Eat your food.
Food.
Ah,
Mm.
look at, don't say kossies. Look at the carrots we're eating.
Mm.
Look at the beetroot we're eating.
Name everything.
Use Yes, use those words. You gave such a beautiful example of opening the wardrobe. Let's look what we've got in the wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
We're shaking out our t-shirts, and here is your nappy. Use
Mm.
proper words.
I love
Don't
that.
do baby talk. Don't do baby talk.
Yeah.
It's words.
Give them vocabulary. Have them.
Indeed,
Wow.
indeed, indeed. Yes,
Mm.
very definitely.
This is
Yes.
really excellent. Nah, this is excellent. Miss Lynn. Oh, guys, I am with my teacher right here. I'm so excited. She's amazing. And I'm like, I wish I was in her classroom. You can hear that she just, I'm sure your children were getting good marks. There's no way. There's no way. And we want the children to get into the habit of reading. Do you think it is possible to influence children to love and like fall in love with reading more than they do these things here? Is it possible?
Absolutely, absolutely. Once once children are allowed to sit and enjoy the sound without the stimulation of a phone in front of them,
Mm-hmm.
um, or without the stimulation of a TV in front of them. We have the most amazing, amazing printed books in South Africa that are available in all our languages.
Yes.
We have so many African language authors in our country who are writing books. We have so many illustrators who are drawing pictures according to what we how we live.
Mhm.
There's an organization called Nali Bali.
I know Nalibali. Yes. I used to listen to them on the
Nali Bali.
radio. Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are Nali Bali stories in every single language. So even if I don't have a book
Mm-hmm.
available, there are Nali Bali stories that I can listen to, that I can actually I can actually print out if I have a printer available on it, just a piece of get a piece of scrap paper,
Mm-hmm.
take it to work, ask them if you may print a story out. There is availability, and we really neglect our libraries. We have so many
Mm.
community libraries.
So true.
Take the time, take the time,
Mm-hmm.
take your child with you. Let them sit and look and enjoy. And well, now once again, we often make the mistake of saying, "Don't touch." But this is part of it. We teach children how to open a book, how to page through a book without tearing the pages. We're afraid to let them do that. But it's all about practice. They need to see us doing that, and then they will join in. And so, yes, it is possible, but it is possible to get children excited about reading.
I
It
like that.
starts with listening. It starts with hearing those stories, as we talked about, right from birth, hearing those words flow over them.
Yeah.
It's then introducing a story that interests them.
Yes.
Um, if a boy doesn't want to sit still because he wants to be outside kicking a ball, playing soccer, let's
Mm-hmm.
find a story. about soccer.
Okay.
Let's find something that interests a child. We don't need to confine them to the traditional. When we were in school, we had a reader and we had to read these stories. Let's confine them to those. Let's give them something that excites them, that is interesting to them. So, child doesn't want to sit still, and listen to a story. We can't concentrate for long. We concentrate for 16 minutes at a time, as an adult. So, but once again, it's practice. We have a routine. Every evening when Mama comes home from work, we sit down and we either read pamphlets or we have time to read a book. Maybe Mama's brought a book home with her. Maybe, but it's that special time. Make time, 5 minutes, where we sit and we
Yes.
concentrate. We listen, and when we can read, we can then join in. Millicent and I are going to do a joint. It's called shared reading. And that's what it's about. It's about that. It's a disciplined making that time, 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Then it can stretch to 10 minutes. And by the time the child can read themselves,
2 hours. I can attest.
yeah, yes. But make that time, even if it's just before you go to sleep.
Sleep.
Make
Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah. And if you are, and if you're, you have if you follow a Christianity or a religion, that's the
Yes.
time when you normally would do your Bible story or something like that. But it's making sure that I don't miss that time. It doesn't have to be a long time, 5 minutes just to start off with, but something that's of interest to a child.
Yeah.
So first of all,
Absolutely.
it starts with that reading to the child,
Yeah.
reading with the child, and then eventually it gets to the point where the child can read, and that's where we get excited at Help to Read. Our young people
Absolutely.
only have 10 months with us.
Yeah.
Children coming to us they haven't had that one-on-one attention. They haven't had that time with their parents, their caregivers, their grandmothers. Our young people spend time with them, show their interest, read to them. They read and read and read. Eventually, a child is able to recognize words. And so what we're going to do is which we do as well in the classroom. We take a book, and as soon as children can read a word, they will then, you'll have the literacy tutor reading, but then they'll see a word that they can read and they can add that in again. So this is how we build up that ability. Starts with maybe reading one word. Maybe they can read a sentence. And so they gradually get into that practice, but it's that discipline, that practice, doing it again and again and again, but having fun in the meanwhile, because words are fun.
They are. I love that. I love that. Can we read together? I'm excited. You can lead and tell me where we start. Yeah, I don't have page numbers, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about it, but I'm definitely listening to your lead.
Well, Millicent, we're going to read a book called How Many Ways Can You Say Hello?
Okay.
Written by a South African author, illustrated by a South African. So here we go. One day, Sarah starts at a new school in a mysterious day in every single way. A new school with new teachers, a new place with strange creatures, new faces with braces, new shoes without laces. Most mysterious of all, While on the jungle gym playing, Sarah does not know what the other kids are saying. How can that be? What language speaks she? And he, and he. What language speaks he? Shap, shap. Lekker. Jebo. Eish. Highball. Summer. Oh. Later in the day, she chats to Miss Hubble. Miss Hubble, Miss Hubble, I'm having some trouble. All around me, I hear languages I don't understand. How will I make any new friends as planned? Do not worry, Sarah. I have an idea. Your homework for the first holiday this year. There are many ways to say hello. Learn them all and put on a show. How many ways can you say hello? It's holiday time and Sarah wants to know. She hops into a hot air balloon and flies towards the moon. Hopefully, she will find an answer quite soon. From way up high, while soaring in the sky, a girl in a baobab tree catches her eye. Hello there, friend. I wonder if you know another way to say hello.
In Venda, boys say nda and girls say ah. Smiles, Brenda. In
How many ways
Afrikaans,
can you say hello? Now, Brenda also wants to know. She skips to the balloon and they fly towards the moon with a zip and a zop. They're gone in a pop. From way up high, while drifting in the sky, a surfer boy on a big blue wave they spy. Hello there, friend. We wonder if you know another way to say hello.
in Afrikaans, we say hello, says France.
But how many ways can you say hello? Curious. Now, Franz also wants to know. He joins them in the balloon and they fly towards the moon. With a splish and a splash, they are gone in a flash. From way up high, while gliding in the sky, a girl on a giant pineapple catches their eye. Oh, there, friend, we wonder if you know another way to say hello.
We say sawubona, Chorus, Sazi, and Lulu. That means hello in Swati and Zulu.
But how many ways can you say hello? Now, Sazi and Lulu are itching to know. They dart off to the balloon on its journey towards the moon. With a squiggle and a giggle, they're off in a jiggle. From way up high, while roaming in the sky, two boys on a raft catch their eye. Hello there, friends. We wonder if you know another way to say hello.
How about Absheni in Tsonga? Asks Tonga. I know Lochani, cause Anele. That's Ndebele.
But how many ways can you say hello? Tonga and Anelia are also eager to know. They race to the balloon that's flying towards the moon. With a plip and a plop, it's off to the next stop. From way up high, while floating in the sky, 3 girls picking Proteus catch their eye. Hello, friends. We wonder if you know another way to say hello.
Hello, smiles Sarah with a curtsy to the ground. Ah, declares Brenda very loud and very proud. Hello? Huffs Franz as he does a happy dance. Molo, whispers Nomsa from behind the class plants.
Sawubona, sing Lulu and Sazi in a tune.
Asheni, booms Tonga a little too soon.
Dumela,
Dumela, echo the girls, striking poses side by side. Lochani, squawks Anele with a laugh he just can't hide.
Everybody laughs. Everybody laughs and ends up on the floor. Miss Hubble is on her feet and cries, "Class encore! Bravo!" You now know 11 ways to say hello.
Wow.
Hello to you, Sarah, and to every new friend. I hope you learn more because hello is the beginning and not
the end.
end.
This was awesome. This was excellent. I enjoyed that. See, that was so fun. That was so fun. We've learned many ways of saying hello from a very simple storybook. So we've learned a couple of things. You spend quality time together. You learn other languages. You learn new words. You see how they are written. You get to have conversations to talk about after the reading of that particular book. Like, I'm seeing so many positives of actually reading with your children. If there are children in the home, you need to bring them together and every single day make it a habit of reading. Oh man, thank you so much for that. For the parents, right? Who don't know that their children are struggling at school. What tips can you give them on how they can kind of guide them to read?
Once again, it's just saying, it's fine. Let's just do it together. Remember about that time. Let's be a role model. Put my phone away when I'm talking to France, when I'm talking to to my child. Let's put that phone away. Let's have eye-to-eye contact. Let's do something together. Let's plan the shopping. Let's plan the meal. Let's do as we go to the wardrobe and pack away the clothes. Let's talk. Rhythm, rhyme, all falls on the ears. And it's being that role model. Put that phone away and let's talk together.
This was so nice.
Let's work
I
together
enjoyed
on
it.
that.
I quite enjoyed speaking with you. I quite enjoyed reading with you, drawing from your energy. And I hope that you did too. Final words, maybe about International Help to Read to Me Day before we let you go. And how can people get involved in Help to Read, by the way?
Right. Well, just it's an amazing opportunity. Let's not stick to one day. Let's not stick to one day of International Reading Aloud Day. Let's make every day 5 minutes starting off every day as a Reading Aloud Day. Let's bring it into our being. Let's bring it into our homes. Let's bring it into the way we speak with each other. We talk about reading. We talk about pictures. So yes, let's celebrate today as we fun. But remember, it's not something that we can then pack away for the rest of the year. Let's make every single day a reading aloud day.
Absolutely.
And then just and help to read. If you're interested, we have schools in the Western Cape and in Gauteng, in Diepsloot and Cullinan. We'd desperately like to expand the program to other schools, but we are dependent on donors. So if you can introduce us to somebody, maybe you know the CEO of Checkers. Introduce him to Help to Read.
Okay.
My number 079-110-5890. There's a website, www.help2read.org. See our work. If you have an email, contact me by email. If you have an idea of starting a reading club in your community, starting in your library, let's work together. We can do it by collaborating. Come with your ideas. And at the moment, we don't have any positions available as literacy tutors, but put your CV on the Yes for Youth platform. Next year, there may be an opportunity for you to join a program. But just remember those 5 minutes a day. Do it with your child. You can, even if you're involved in your school community, go to your school and say, how can we get something like this going? Let's contact Help to Read. Let's see how we can work together. So yes, my phone number is available, and Millicent will share that. The website is available. My email is available. I can put you in touch with my team members in Khayelitsha, in Simondium, in Northern Paarl, in Diepsloot, in Tsotsebeni above Franschhoek. Some people call it Langerif. I have coordinators. We have Help to Read coordinators working in those areas. Just as I am passionate about reading, so are they. And they'd love to become involved in your community with you.
Oh, absolutely. Help to Me Reads, Miss Lynn Kamstein. Thank you so much. My heart is so full interacting with you this morning, and I pray that indeed those donations do come, that more hands and feet also come knocking, and definitely more spaces where people who would like to know how to read and those who've got the skills want to then come and collaborate with you guys. I hope that you will get many offers and continue to be extremely busy because the work is a lot and the fields are waiting to be harvested. Many blessings to you, ma'am, and thank you for today.
Thank you, Millicent. What a wonderful opportunity. Thank you for playing with me.
Oh, awesome.
Adventist